I am so excited to be able to take you through this journey of finding the relationship that really meets your need and helps you to become the person that you want to become. You know, the Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the highest need that we have is to really belong with another person. And once we get there, that belonging actually supports us so that we can be able to self-actualize or reach the highest space of being content with our lives. And so it is very important to realize that premarital counseling can really help you to join yourself with the kind of person that will help you to self-actualize. Now, the thing is, a lot of people think that opposites, if you marry a person who is completely opposite to you, that you will always have conflict. Not necessarily, because you can marry a person who sees life very different from you, but if you guys can be able to develop the goodwill, good feeling, and good loving with each other, you can weather any storm. The important thing is to understand, how do I develop that kind of feeling within my relationship? And one of the things that is very important is to go through the process of being prepared for the lifetime of living with another person. The wedding is great, we enjoyed that, and we went for honeymoon, we had a great time, but then we have to come back to real life, that now you begin to get to know that person. So some of the things that you need to really develop is how to deal with the issues that you are faced with. When you begin to become parents, how do we, two people who think so differently, two people who are raised differently, how do we raise our family in a way that is going to make both of us feel comfortable? So number one, in premarital counseling, we are also training you how to develop your own culture. So I come in with how I was raised, you come in with how you were raised, and then there is the societal expectations, there are the religious expectations, all those things that we bring into the family. It is important for a couple to create their own culture, to identify what are the things that work for them. And that is why premarital counseling with a professional counselor is much more beneficial than the group counseling. The group counseling is good. However, in professional counseling, when it's just the two of you, then you are able to deal with issues that are deeper, and you are able to bring about the things that probably in a group counseling you may not be able to speak honestly about. There is importance to also understand, as a person, you come into that relationship because you are attracted to one another. So what is your sexual identity? During premarital counseling, you have the opportunity to talk about that. It's a sensitive subject, but it is important to understand that. I remember when I was going through my own self-development, I didn't realize that I was ashamed of my sexuality. I was ashamed because we are brought up being told that sex is dirty, sex is wrong, sex is sin, and so nobody really tells you the other side of sex. And so it's important during premarital counseling to dismantle those belief systems, so that when you enter into the marriage, you can actually enjoy being sexual with your partner. So that happens in premarital counseling. You don't want to go in blind like that. Then the other thing is financial intimacy. It's very important. We know the two things that are breaking marriages these days is finances and infidelity. And so finances, we need to talk about that, and we do that within premarital counseling, and it's important to do that. I would be amiss not to mention that we also need to talk about the foundations of marriage. Why do we get married? Who is the author of marriage? What is the importance of joining ourselves together with somebody else? And so in that the importance of marriage, we talk about expectations, because you have certain expectations, the reasons why you are seeking to join yourself to another person. It is important that those expectations are put out on the table, so that the other person can be able to be a partner in order to help you experience that wholeness that you are looking for in your own life. So those are some of the things that we talk about in premarital counseling, and I want to encourage anyone who is planning to get married, anyone who is even planning to go into a relationship. It's important that you start with that self-awareness first, and then when you get into a relationship, seek relationship counseling. It's not about looking that you have a problem. You don't have to go because you have a problem. Go because you want to understand and because you want to learn. So thank you for staying with me. I will see you next time when we talk about something else in relationships.